Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Rolling Hills Farm. So it is a very unusual day here in what's been a pretty unusual year. And I'm going to show you what makes today unusual. I'm going to walk up here to the side of the house and show you, I'm not sure you can see it, that right there. The thermometer reads 93 degrees in the shade. I can't imagine what it's like in the sun. It is highly unusual for us to have 90-degree weather before August, but certainly before July. It's mid-June right now, and this is actually a fairly serious situation for us because it's early in the year for this kind of heat for our cows. I'll show you. So our cow with the twin calves, who we've been keeping in now, we're a little concerned about this heat bothering her. So what we've done is we've set up a gate situation so they can get in the shade here. Meanwhile, Chloe, the cow who has not calved yet, is in the calving barn out of the sun also. And that fan is helping cool her down a little bit. But even with that little bit of wind, you can see she's breathing pretty heavily over there. We get concerned about these older cows in this kind of heat. The horse is actually pretty lucky because she's able to come in here to the old barn. You can see right in the, even though it's middle of the day, she's standing in here where it's really pretty cool. The stone walls of this old dairy barn, they keep it nice and cool in here. We'll leave her in here until early evening when the sun goes down a little bit, just so she can stay comfortable in this incredible heat. So we've got our sunshade up again this year, and it's just a small one, but it's big enough that the cows can get underneath it, the main part of the herd, when they come up here. And you can feel there's a little bit of breeze. You can see it blowing through this. And that sunshade takes out, like 80% of the sun and the heat, so that the cows can get underneath there, the ground is cooler, and then the breeze comes through. And that plus plenty of water, because the main water tank's right down that way at the barn, will keep them comfortable and at least keep them alive during incredible heat like this. But right now the main herd is actually, you can see right over that hilltop, the tops of the trees. The main herd is out hiding out in the trees. There's a wet area where they like to go, and they stand kind of on wet ground in the shade, as well as out in the breeze. And that's probably where they're hiding out until the evening cools off a little bit. Plus there's plenty of grass out there for them. So we're walking in one of our alfalfa fields. This is really typically our highest producing alfalfa, and hasn't started to blossom yet, and it's really not as tall as we'd like. But the rain we've got in the last few days and the heat that's underway right now should give this a pretty good boost. Typically we'll cut alfalfa in this area because of our proximity to Lake Superior in maybe the last week in June, and today's June 20th. So we still have, certainly a week, and this year maybe 2 weeks of growth yet, so we can put on some volume. If you look close, you see that the alfalfa is not blossoming at all yet. So it's still got plenty of volume to add, height to add. It's worth mentioning that we don't spray, and you can certainly see by the crop of dandelions that have grown up in this year's alfalfa. We don't spray here at all. We're pretty sensitive about bees. Our neighbor right on the other side of those trees has 20 hives of bees, and we have bees as well. And we're always interested in the native pollinators and trying to do what we can to protect them. And you see, we got a pretty good crop of milkweed growing along the edge of this field. And we get a lot of monarch butterflies here as the summer goes on, and they'll hatch their eggs. And this hillside is a great place for milkweed and butterflies. But the field next to it, and there's fields on all sides of it, are really good fields for alfalfa as well. Well, it's a beautiful early morning, and we really got rocked last night. Thunderstorms and rain. I haven't had a chance to look at the rain gauge, but look at how the hay has been pounded down in this section. A couple of days of extreme heat has been broken by quite a rainfall. So we had 1.5 inches of rain overnight in the storm. It was certainly more than forecast, but good news for the garden and good news for the hayfield. Well, better late than never. Almost a month after everybody else, old Chloe had her calf during the storm last night. And he's a nice little bull calf. So that makes number 12.